Happy Homebrew Wednesday, it's Homebrew 22, and Happy New Year! So, it has been a long year. Today is, I think it's the 1st, and it's been a long year, and let me get this beer popped open. And I have been brewing my tail off. I haven't been recording a lot of it, but I've been brewing my tail off. So, let's go ahead and get this poured. This is, I believe, I'm really bad at labeling my beers. This is my Laramoca. This one actually had cocoa nibs on it, and it's pretty good. It's not the Laramoca that I did, that I actually entered into a local contest, and I got first prize on that. But this one is, it's a little bit higher in alcohol. The one that I won with it was a good tasting beer. It was 3.2. This one's a good tasting also, but this one came out like 5.2. This was actually, I was trying to make this an entry for the SJ Pour Challenge, and it just got I just got too much efficiency, or got too much alcohol in the fermentation and everything, so it just bottomed out. So let's get a taste on it, or let's get a whiff on it. Yeah, you can definitely smell the nibs that I put in it in the primary. Very chocolatey. This is I'm going to drink. Cheers. Wow, it's pretty good. But it's my beer, and I think it's good. So anyways, I wrote down some notes. I normally don't take notes, but I just want to let you know what I did in 2016. The brews that I did, I didn't really vary much from the Pale Ale IPA, but I did three Belgians this year. I did the one for my experiment with my homebrew club. I did one with the quad, which I did with the homebrew club. And then I made a holiday Belgian. So I just took a holiday kit beer and threw a whole bunch of extra sugar in it, and used the Belgian yeast. So I made, I believe, four session beers for the SJ Pour Challenge. They didn't all come out session, but I made 4 of them for it. So I had plenty of beer in the Keezer, and the first one I made, which was kind of like the Rolo Light, excuse me, that one actually came out, was the first one I did for the SJ Pour Challenge, and that was the one I stuck with. So I just had a lot of beer that I just didn't compare as well. This beer is really good, but it just came out a little bit higher alcohol than the 4.5 that was specified for the SJ Pour Challenge. So the beer that I made the most in 2016, Supercharger. I made 5 5-gallon batches of that, because it is just a kick-ass beer. That is a really good beer. I also I made 2 variants of it, which I changed up the malts on it, which was I made the Roadrunner, which actually is my favorite because it just shows off the hops like totally. And then I also did the Tasmanian Devil, and then that one was the one I think I was drinking on my last Homebrew Wednesday. That one had 4 different base malts and a little bit of a crystal here and there, and the hop schedule was pretty much the same. And there you go. I made 2 extracts beers, so pretty much all the beer that I made last year was all grain, except for later in the year I got a couple kit beers, which I pretty much doctored up anyways, but I just kind of made them still my own. I did the Mosaic Ideal Ale, which all Mosaic hops, and for a session beer, and that one is just an easy drinker. I posted the recipe up before on that one. Started out the year with I made the Larrogant, and I believe that I posted pretty much the ones that I've really showcased, that I talked about. I put almost all the recipes up there. If you guys want a recipe of mine, I'll post it up there, because whoever makes a beer, it's a little bit different. You make it your own, And there you go. So, oh, speaking of SJ Pour Challenge, I made it into the finals. I know that we're not really supposed to talk about who's in, who's out. I made it into the finals, the U.S. finals, and the beers that won, I believe. Oh my God, I can't. Okay, we had the milk stout, the ultra light milk stout. We had I think it was a rye pale ale, and a beet beer. The beet sour. They were the ones that made it into the international finals. Good luck to those brewers. And I can't believe that pretty much out of the top 5 beers of mine that were my favorites, I had, I think, 2 or 3 of the sours. So I am, I mean, I wouldn't drink them all day long, but for a sour, they came out really good. There wasn't anything off except it being a little bit about being sour, and that's what you're expecting. That's where I kind of find it hard to grade poorly on a sour, because it's supposed to have an off flavor. So that's just me. But they actually were very enjoyable to drink, and actually, since I was at the U.S. hub, I was actually able to share it with some of my neighbors and who really appreciate the sours. So I'm glad that I have my friends here that are enjoying the beers just like I did during the finals. I made a cherry apple cider. It's still in the secondary. I got a little bit of a sulfur off aroma, so I'm trying to age it out, and I'm going to back sweeten it probably this week, and then throw it in the keezer and have that one on tap. Right now, out of the ones on tap, I have the Tasmanian Devil. I've got my red, which I haven't even tapped that keg yet. I've got the Lermocha, which is the 3.2% beer, and the other one. Oh, Oktoberfest. Oktoberfest was fantastic. That one wasn't my recipe. That one was actually Barrage Brewer. He lives down the road from me, and we did a double batch, and he lagered his and used, I think, a Cry Havoc White Labs yeast, and I used, I think, California lager yeast. I think I did. And I used the Mangrove Jacks one, and that one came out really, really good. I mean, it's light. I think the Tasmanian Devil, because I love my pale ales, and pretty much all my friends do too. And then the Oktoberfest, they're going really good, or going really quick. So and I've done 2 LTEs this year. The first one went really quick, and the other one's charging right now. I actually have a pretty full of my keezer's pretty full of beers. I got one actually sitting here. It's nice and cool, so I can just let it sit out. Once the Tasmanian Devil, because I believe that one's going to go first. Once that one kicks, I just pop this one in, and we're ready to go. So, don't know what the SJ Pour Challenge of 2017 is going to be. I'm looking forward to it. I'm getting more proactive in my homebrew club. I was vice president last year, but what I've taken over in a role in my homebrew club, which I highly encourage people to get into your homebrew club. What I'm doing is I'm actually setting up the meetings and calling up breweries to see if we can have our meeting space there. And I'm also doing the competition stuff. So I'm actually going to be doing the experiment. I'm trying to think up ideas of what to do. We do have a brewery that we might be able to get a whole bunch of wort off of. I remember watching a Homebrew Wednesday that SJ Pour posted, and I think it was Liberty or Independence Brewing down in Maryland. They actually did a wort challenge where they actually gave you the wort and you did whatever you wanted to do with it. So we're trying to do that with my homebrew club. So that being said, I think I'm gonna wish you guys a happy new year. 2017 is gonna be freaking fantastic, because it's gonna be all about more beer, homebrew, SJ Pour Challenge, mead challenge. Oh yeah, I did the mead challenge too, and that was with Canadian Sasquatch Brewery, and my meads didn't do too well. They didn't age well. I mean, they taste okay. It just didn't. I wasn't really happy with my mead this year. So there you go. That's me in a nutshell. 2016, and I will see you guys next week. I should be brewing tomorrow, so hopefully I'll get some footage. I'll see you guys later. Have a great 2017. Peace.